Welcome to Take from 10 Shopping, Day 5. Today we start doing some really great stuff because we're moving across that 100 benchmark and going to start doing some 3-digit minus 2-digit. But I absolutely love it with shopping. So grab your whiteboard and let's get ready to think. First of all, remember, if we are doing the big benchmark, it is always the number up in the corner, 100 or 200 or 300 or 400 or 500. Big benchmarks always are the hundreds. Remember, all the numbers along here are the close benchmarks. We're going to use both of them when doing 3-digit minus 2-digit. Okay, here you can see that there's my big benchmark. Here's my big benchmark. And all the other numbers there would be my close benchmark numbers. All right. Push pause and see how you do on close benchmarks and big benchmarks. And then we'll check your work. All right. 123's next 10 equals 130. Its big benchmark is 200. 157's next 10 is 160. And its big benchmark is 200 also. 479's next 10 is 480. And its big benchmark goes all the way to 500. 360's close benchmark is 360 because it already is that 0. Its big benchmark is 400. 299's next 10 or close benchmark is 300. And its big benchmark is also 300. So sometimes the close benchmark is the same as the big benchmark. Whenever we're in the 90s, that's how you know that. 548's next 10 is 550, and its big benchmark equals 600. Hopefully you did really great on that because we're needing that on shopping. All right, now pause and practice your renaming. All right, 124 equals 50 plus 50 will get me to my next 100. And then 24. Now, if you wrote just 50 plus 74, that is great as well. All right, 162 equals 80 plus, first I'm going to add the partner to 100, and then I will make it equal to 162. Or you could have just written 80 plus 82. All right, 256 equals 70 plus. First, I add my partner to get 1 to 100. Now that I'm at 100, it's 156. Now, you could have realized it was 186, but that would be really hard to do in your head. 90 needs a 10 to get to 100, and then a 282 to get to 382. Or again, you could have put 292, but I honestly would probably keep it like that. 259 needs a 90 plus a 10 to get to 100, and then a 159 to get to 259. Or you could have written 169. Most of the time, kids, I actually really do like to keep it like this. Doing it this way, I often make simple little mistakes. So I would probably encourage you to do it that way. All right, let's work on this problem. Push pause and solve it and then go to the next 2 slides and I'll show you possible solutions. All right, the first way you could have done it is what we call our close benchmark. And all you do is put your minus 77 there and put 77's close benchmark up above it, which is 80, just like you've been doing. And then renaming it with my 20 plus my 20 and plus my 15. Now, here's the difference with our bigger numbers. We need to add 20 and 15 together and bring them both down as a 35. And then 80 minus 77 is just a 3, just like it's been. And then 35 plus 3 equals 38. I absolutely love that way. Now, some of you might have known or been able to think that that's 35 right at the top. And you can do that on these kind of problems. It's not that hard. But some of the bigger ones, you'll want to go to the partner, to the 100, and then add the extras. Let's try with the big benchmark now. So now I put my minus 77, and I think, who is 77's big benchmark? Well, it's 100. I rename it with the plus 15, which is really easy. I bring the 15 down, and then since I went all the way to the 100, so I used a big benchmark, I need my big partner, or my partner to 100. Remember to check for a 90 plus a 10 to make sure that it's 100. And then you need to add 23 plus 15. If you want to write that 23 over there to help you add it, you can. Or you could do it horizontally like we've been really good at. And then you know your answer is 38. Great job. All right, let's try this one. 227 subtract 68. And I've written this out with the close benchmark both ways. Notice I can put down that its close benchmark is 70. And then I will add a 30 to get to 100. And then I still need a 127. I will combine the 127 plus 30 to get 157. And since that's just my close benchmark, I need my close partner or my partner to 10, which is 2. So 157 plus 2 equals 159. Great job. Now, I could also do it this way where I write my close benchmark as 70, and somehow in your head you would hold that it was a 30 and 127, and you would write 157 there. Honestly, I would encourage you to do it this way. This can get quite difficult to remember this stuff. So I honestly would tell you, if you're going to do the close benchmark, go to the next 100, just like we did with the number line, and then add your extras. This gets really hard. Let's look at the big benchmark now. All right, my big benchmark is 100. I rename it to 127. I bring the 127 down. Notice my partner here is 32, and I can check it with a 90-10. I like to bring it down there so that I add it up and I could just add the columns. And then my answer is 159. Great. Now, the thing I love about shopping is some kids really do love the close benchmark. They love to put 80 up there. They are really good at renaming it to a plus 20 to get to 100, and then 116 to get to 216. Make sure when you do that, you add all of that together to get 136. Some kids forget to add this part. So make sure you collect all that, the leftover, and put it all there. And then 80 subtract 79 equals 1. 136 plus 1 equals 137. Great job. This is with the close benchmark. Let's try the same problem with the big benchmark now. So again, the bottom part is always the same. You just write what you're going to subtract. But now in your head, you think 79's big benchmark, or next 100, is 100. Then you need to rename. Well, 100 needs a 116. Bring the 116 down. Here's where you have to stop and be careful. If I'm using my big benchmark, I need my big partner. Because if you just add a 1 there, 79 plus 1 only gets you to 80. We need to add the 21. The hardest part on the big benchmark is this part down here. Some kids have a hard time adding that, which is why I encourage you, if this is a 21 here, to just write it right underneath so you can line your columns up and get a nice, easy addition problem. So 137. So, boys and girls, this is super fun. You're going to need to practice. Try some close benchmarks, try some big benchmarks. Make sure you get the right answer on both of them. If your answers are different, then you made a mistake. But I would practice. See which way you like best. Once you decide, then you can just kind of stick to that method, because you don't need to be really, really good at both methods. Just find the one you like the most. Enjoy, but keep practicing.